Hello everyone, my name is Umu and I'm React to the K's channel creator.
I'm Sean, React to the K's channel arranger and host of Classical Composer Breaks Down the K.
Welcome to Sean's and my first listen for WJSN's aka Cosmic Girls album Neverland. Okay, let's just jump in.
After it stops seeming like a bunch of doors are being opened and closed downstairs. Okay, I think they're done.
And starting off with Hola. 3, 2, 1. Similar vocal editing to Butterfly at the beginning.
I like the amount of layering forces.
Oh, keeping the same rhythm, but more pulsing than hard-hitting rhythmically. And there's the percussion. Nice octave end, like, added to the end of the phrase. Ooh, another feel change. Nice. Da-da! Little blues note. Nice range. I thought we were gonna go back down in range and then build back up. Oh, it's because we still haven't dropped yet. Nice. Hit. I like this melody a lot. Cool little echo, the ola ola ola, before going back into this post hook. Yeah, there it is again.
This is a really nice post chorus. Like, even as simple, I guess post choruses are generally on the simple side, right? That's normally not where people have elaborate melodies. It's something really catchy, but that was catchy, but also not in the way it just felt repetitious.
Oh, little rising synth. I love this change here. You're taking out the bass, let the high notes float a little bit more before all the percussion and bass come back in. And there's so many hidden background vocals. There's some harmony there. Lower harmony. It's kind of...
Huh. Wasn't expecting a shout section.
Woo! Woo!
I like having that choice of note for the sustaining high one.
How do their B-sides keep getting better and better? What the hell? I'm gonna go back to the bridge. 226, 3, 2, 1. It's just, it goes halftime rhythmically, and we take out like all the drones. So that's so much more percussive. Da, 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 da. And they keep the new instrumental, right? Da. Oh, it's gone now. But then the high notes are so satisfying. La hit, la hit. Okay. Bruh. Yo, that's like the boppiest, satisfying, feel-good song I've heard in a very long time. It's just the instrumental supports the vocal line so well. They interact so much. Like, there's call and answer between the percussive and instrumental hits with the vocal parts, and the vocal part isn't too repetitive, because so many times, let's say a melody starts da 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 da, and then it repeats da 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 da, like it just, and then it changed the ends of the phrase, but like it repeats 2 times in a row. That did not happen much in this, and if it did happen, I did not notice it, and maybe the instrumental changed beneath it, which made me feel like it didn't repeat. I don't know, that was so friggin' solid. Damn! Okay, which only leads to Pantomime, which I've heard so much about. Thank you for fans not spoiling me, like, why I should be so excited about it, because sometimes I know people get so excited that they're like, oh, this happens, and this happens, and this happens, and you should listen to it. I'm like, bro, you just spoiled the whole song for me. But luckily that has not happened, and I have no idea why I should look forward to this, but I know I should look forward to it.
Going into Pantomime, 3, 2, 1. Huh. Okay. This is very different from the opening sounds. And I'm wondering if those are coming back somehow?
There's already so much to talk about. I refuse. Key change? Yo, that chromaticism's tickling my ears.
Yeah, this is nice. It's like a lot of very dry sounds, but so many of them that it's never ending up empty. It's just a lot of things popping in and out. This was during the chorus.
I think it goes to the parallel or relative major in the pre-chorus, second half of the pre-chorus.
Also, I like just the moving chromatically around the note there. There's like chromatic lower and upper neighbors.
Hit.
Okay. Yeah, they're doubling something, almost a jazz organ sound, I think.
What the fuck?
Okay.
Did we just
so
modulate like
up
the
and
half
also
of a whole step?
taking out a lot of the parts, gradually fading them back in, also noise riser. Yeah, that was also really good. I liked how it had a good variety of sounds, all mixed so that they're very clear. Nothing felt muddied, but a lot of different sounds. Sometimes it was, but also often just sort of hocketing among each other. So you'd have the bass growl for a moment, but there were a lot of percussion up in the mids and highs.
5 minutes later.
First listen, summary. Towards the end, I just started becoming so overwhelmed that, like, the music, like, my brain wasn't even functioning. The reason why is because this song is harmonically interesting. We've got chromaticism, we've got modal mixture, we've got maybe key changes. Rhythmically, it's really interesting. Like, we've got the underlying pop beat, which is hits on 1, 2, 3, 4, but around it, we have percussion like do-do-do-do-do-do-do. And then not only do we have 1, 2, 3, 4, but sometimes at the end of phrases, it switches to offbeat. So it goes like 1, 2, 3, 4, da, 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 right? So it isn't like a really boring loop that continues throughout the entire song. And then not only do we have a changed rhythm once in a while towards end of phrases, but we also have like those really creepy like sounds where we interrupt the flow with a completely different creepy soundscape. And then form-wise, we had choruses. Did we have a bridge? I don't know. I think my brain shut down around then. But it was repetitive to the perfect amount, and each section there was enough variation change, so you always have something new to talk about between each section. So I'm going in for a second listen because that was brilliant, and I'll talk a little bit more during this listen. 3, 2, 1. That first synth sound is great. It's almost as if like an affected muted brass sound, but I want to talk to the producers. How did they create these noises? Because these aren't noises that you hear in every single pop song ever, you know? Once again, 3, 2, 1. And the nice harmony. And then little eerie. And then this rhythm of the vocal line is good. Da 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 da. Da 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 da. It kind of like, it's trippy because they're ascending and then they hit on an offbeat, and so it's really weird. And now the rap is lining up with the bass line. And it really explores their full range because it went up, down, up, and then back up. Yeah, the rhythmic feel just keeps changing. So that went from minor major. And then chromaticism. And then a really good groove. Yeah, they have little breaks in between the percussive hits. This is pure ear candy. I probably said this about some of their past B-side tracks, but this is like a definition of ear candy. Woo, I'm sweating! And I love the bass. The bass sound keeps changing. The bass progression keeps changing. It's so beautiful and high in their range. Da 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 da. Da da da. Ah, the drum's so good! And it's so satisfying when they like lift up for a second and then hit. Oh yes, this is the bridge where it goes super dark and chromatic. Da da. Like, I can't predict a single thing about these melodies. Did the pre-chorus change a tiny bit? That's so weird. I think we did modulate. Okay. I don't even know what the original key was. I'm gonna ask Sean, he has perfect pitch, but like modulate is when we change key, right? So we're in this key area before, and it's already pretty weird because we're switching between minor and major, which is basically a pattern of notes. Minor feels a lot more dark, and it can be used in sad or scary songs. Major is used in happy, upbeat, feel good, also sometimes some bittersweet songs. And then, so we've been switching between that this whole time. And then suddenly we go move that all up a little bit. That's a key change. You move all those notes up. They ain't the same notes anymore. I mean, I want to listen to the rest of the album, but like, I also don't. I just want to go back and listen to Pantomime like 5,000 more times. Okay, Where You Are. Not Where You At, but it's Parem. Where You Are. 3, 2, 1. The reason why I'm making this face is because I think those are real strings. In pop songs like these, they don't usually use real strings. They usually use synth or synth strings.
Long introduction.
Strings, more strings, yes! Ooh, good harmonic motion. Oh, I like the hits. Da, 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 da. And the strings? That melody leaps around a lot. Cello, they have a full ass string section. They have some pizzicato. And the eighth notes here, moving us forward.
Nice choice to take the drums out here. Interesting how the piano's just locked in rhythmically with the kick drum. I feel like they're doing a lot of bridge raps. Like where raps move around, but that's probably the most traditional place is in the second verse. Certainly there are plenty of songs that have done bridge raps before this, but it seems like that's a bit of a trend in this album.
I love that bass move. Da da da. Da, da. Interesting. It sounds like they're about to go into a dance break, but then, like at that part, but then the vocals come in.
Okay, that was an abrupt ending. The secondary dominants were nice little moments that would pull the harmonies a little bit outside of the completely standard progressions. I feel like the textures were a bit more self-similar on that one, although there were still some nice changes. It's not like it was all the same throughout.
This mini album was insane. I want to listen to the beginning part again. 3, 2, 1. Piano, synths, and then the violin and cello maybe, or it might be just two violins, and then it like ends in like they like poured a whole bucket of reverb on those tracks.
Moving on to Trala. Or Nori. Fire, flower, something. I don't know what Nori is. Also, it's possible that both of those mean something different in the context of if this is a four-syllable word. 3, 2, 1.
Oh, this gives me... Where have I heard? I feel like I've heard that sample before in like a BTS song or something similar to it. I like, we got snaps on 2 and 4, but I like the syncopation of the bass line. More subdividing rhythms. See, this is the repeating that I was talking about in our earlier song. Beautiful harmonies. Nice change. Ooh! Da 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 da. Oh, it keeps changes. Nice. Cause some sort of ostinato, bright synth sound in the chorus is very typical for a summer song. There we go, like this. Like synth riff in which you can just vibe to. Ow.
I feel like it seems like they've elaborated on the percussion parts a little bit more here. Well, there's a second verse rap after I talked about them moving more of them to the bridge. A nice choice again with so much percussion elsewhere to take them out for a moment, and then of course they do bring them back in to build up to the chorus.
Bridge? No, okay.
The use of more like mallet percussion type sounds does make this a little more of a sort of conventional summer song sound.
Nice color change, progression change. That's a really quick bridge. Yeah, it's because we had the post hook the second time. Let's see what. Okay. Whoa! Did you hear that high harmony? I was like, ah!
Nice, no vocal melody where this was previously just an instrumental post-chorus.
Okay, we're going back for that high note. Cosmic Girls got range, that's for sure. But yeah, I think Chala exists to be like a rest for the ears and rest for the brain after Pantomime. It's a really nice summery song with some solid producing once again. I almost wish that they didn't have the post hook the second time and they elongated a bridge a bit more because that was really, really quick. Like I said, it's just nice for calm, vibing, summertime, poppin' listening. Okay, Our Garden.
Yep, Our Garden. I notice we haven't had a real ballad yet, so I'm wondering if this is going to be that, since few groups will go an album without putting at least one ballad on there. 3, 2, 1. Sounds like it. I like the little pulsing on the chord instrument. Okay, not as ballady as I was expecting. I like the light 16 swing.
Yeah, syncopated in the vocal line. Oh, I love this new percussion part. Bass drum. Claps.
Yeah, it's already a wetter vocal, and then you can hear them pull up the wet at the very end of that line to kind of fill in the space till the next line started.
It's interesting how they have the guitar so hard panned left when we have the bass part center in the mix. Well, we had the background vocals. No, background vocals are in both headphones. Cool. Oh, it's continuing on, the phrase continuing on. Oh, I thought that was a flute in the background, but that is synth. Ooh, cool effect on the vocals. Yeah, there's a little synth kind of riffing around in the background, but where'd it go? There it is. Whoa! Whoa! That fade out! No. Back. Our garden. Where, back. It's like a horse running away.
Yeah, that was nice. A good variety of textures and sounds in it, and some nice chords too.
Going back, 105, 3, 2, 1. So we've got this really gentle, everything's so gentle, the voice is muffled. Because when you're counting to pop songs, you know what rhythm to choose based on where the percussion hits, because usually it's on 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then to figure out where everything else hits, you just add 1 and 2 and you could go to the length of going 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 and, but don't waste your breath. Just 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and, because most hits are on the off beats, aka the 8th notes and not the 16th notes. 106, 3, 2, 1. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. So here were those hits lined up with my counting. That's why, like, I feel like it's such a creative transition because of the rhythmic the rhythms they choose to use for the transition. But it's also a slap to the face because it's such a stylistic change. But that song was so solid. I had a lot of fun listening to the atmospherical bass throbs. Whoa, 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 whoa.
Hello.
So what did you think of the album, Sean?
I thought it was really... Yeah, I thought it was really good. Yeah, I thought all of them were good, and a couple of them were really standouts.
Yeah, okay, which one's for you? Obviously Pantomime.
Yeah, obviously. Also Hola.
Yeah, Hola, and the second to last one.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
I really liked Our Garden.
Okay, that's the last one on my playlist. I don't know.
Oh,
that's
wait.
Not
I listened to it out of order.
Okay, well...
You're right. I just added it to a playlist because I have a Umu to React playlist. So I added it out of order.
Yeah.
Damn.
Okay.
But I liked Our Garden.
Yeah. Yeah, that one was good too. When I was getting to the end, I was wondering like if it was going to be a ballad because there hadn't been a really slow one. And then at the beginning, I thought, okay, yeah, this is a ballad. But then it got going a bit and it kept flipping between like these very chill, just like kind of keyboardy sounds and voices, and then some more filled out textures. But yeah, like Hola, I really liked just the like almost constantly just this big wave of sound. I'm generally a fan of just songs that are super high energy and keep a lot of layers going to keep that up.
I see.
I mean,
see.
also,
yeah, and also the hits were so satisfying.
Yeah.
Right? If I remember Ola correctly.
Yeah.
But go ahead, you were about to say something.
Yeah, I mean, and also just right from the beginning, it was like a bunch of like kind of edited voices. I thought that was a really solid like energy. I was a little surprised Hola wasn't the title track. Like it seemed like the sort of really energetic.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of the B-sides were as solid, if not more solid, than the title track.
Yeah, I think Pantomime was the best track. I kind of understand it not being a title track just because the chorus is so weird. I feel like it might be a little bit hard to sell people on, because like title tracks do need like that super catchy chorus generally. Like, not to say you can't do anything experimental in title tracks, lots of groups do, but I thought I could understand Pantomime might be a little too eccentric in parts to work as a title track, but I was a little surprised Hola wasn't, just because it was that sort of really bright, energetic song that I think works well for titles.
Yeah, I think it's a very good continuation from their last summer album. I know you, at least, have you heard Sugar Pop? Na, 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 na,
Yeah. Yes, yeah, because you ran that one by me. Yeah.
Yes. So I think it's a wonderful continuation from this album too. It's like a step up from that album. Like that album was already really solid and funky fresh, and then this one's just like even more like mind blowing. Like I started sweating. I was so excited. I was like hyper. I was like, whoa.
I mean, it's also, warm in the summer.
That too. I also have like a light fixture just at me, which like isn't a professional light fixture at all. It's just a normal one that will make one sweat if all lights are pointed at you. But aside from that, Pantomime, last chorus, it went up a whole step, right?
I thought it was a half step.
Or a half step. It just went up. Yeah,
no, it's like the chorus is already so chromatic. Like it's a lot of just chromatic neighbors around the dominant. Because like overall, I only figured this at the first time. I was like, I got that it was chromatic, but I wasn't figuring out what was actually going on at all.
I had no idea what the key area was.
Yeah, overall the song's in E flat, like mostly minor.
Yeah,
but then that da 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 is like sitting, like it's the dominant, but then it's like the chromatic lower neighbor, and I mean in E flat minor the upper neighbor would be chromatic anyway, but it's also like the A natural da 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 da.
Right. Or like to summarize your thoughts in the whole entire album, what did you think was best done?
I thought a lot of like having texture changes and also a lot of dense textures was really well done.
Yes, and the transitions between each. Like in one of the songs, like they use like also all the songs had really nice rhythms in the vocal melody and in the instrumental.
Yeah,
like a lot of syncopation.
Yeah,
even though we would have like the pop hits on 2 and 4, the syncopation would be integrated into it or like just added on to it.
Yeah, I think that was part of having the textures be so good, is like it was a lot of stuff popping in the gaps of other things. Hocketing, if you want the more technical term.
Album was so solid, I'll be running multiple of the songs, if not all of the songs, by the voting panel that we have for Classical Musicians React, but to those who are watching right now, please look forward to Pantomime definitely appearing.
Oh yeah, no question on that one.
Thank you everyone for watching. I hope everyone has a nice, safe summer, and we'll see you soon.
Bye.
Bye.